Good morning and happy Monday, July 18th. Today we're going to be taking a look at the market, trying to break down some of the movement that we saw pre-market last night, which was Sunday the 17th. We're going to see if we can predict where the market's going to go and also look at some of the potential movement that we called out from last week to see how we're following, how we're trending, and how some of this advice and technical analysis is going for us. Go ahead and jump on in. All right, so here we are in /NQs, which again is the mini NASDAQ 100 index futures. So what do we have here? It's kind of hard to see when you first initially look just at the 1 day, 1 minute, but where we start to get a little bit more of a clear picture is at the 180 day 4-hour chart. I'm going to change my studies really quickly and just throw in a different set. We'll throw in the recap review. Use set, apply. Okay. All right. So what are we seeing? Something that we called out end of last week is that we found this really strong resistance right here and a pretty strong support down here. So what happens, you can see where we drew this red line previously at this double top, and we see almost to the T another touching of that red line. We were off just slightly, as you can see here, maybe just a couple points for the NASDAQ. And now we're already getting this interesting reversal. So what does this mean for trading? Well, it means a couple of things. It means, one, that we're not going to have as great of upward momentum for TQQQ, which again is the ETF that follows the NASDAQ as a 3 times multiplier. That's not to say that it can't happen, but more than likely in the direction that we're going, we're going to see this top off and this change in reversal. If we look at the RSI, we were almost overextended. We didn't quite get there like we did last time when we saw that top on that double top that I just called out a second ago. So that means that we could potentially see a bounce and then a rise back up where we either test this line again and break through, or test it and fall. But at the moment, that's a pretty strong red wick. So I'll just continue to watch my position size. It looks like today might be a day to trade SQs. Remember, you always want to trade the stock that is going in the general direction of the market. So what does that mean? When the market's going up like it is here, you're going to want to trade TQQQ. And when the market is going back down, you're going to want to trade SQQQ. The reason why we do that is even if you get into a position that's not favorable, if maybe you bought something that was a little pricey, if you are trading as the market's going down, even if you hold on to it for a few hours, you're going to see that price hopefully increase and get back to a point that is profitable for you in your trade. So again, we saw this change in direction. We called all of this out, this strong bounce all the way back up to its very top almost, and then we get this strong red candle, and when we already broke through the middle volume weight average price here, and we're about to start testing below that. So if we take a look at SQs, again, this is the inverse. So we saw this big decline, and now we see this green candle like we just called out in that reversal. So we're seeing this kind of uptrend, or we'll hopefully start to see this uptrend where we'll either test the EMA, hopefully make our way back up to the SMA, and then hopefully ultimately test where we were a couple of days ago at this top right here. And then again, if we look at TQs, we're going to see the same thing that we saw in /NQs, or very similar to what we saw. And you'll see where we have this peak, this drop, and it comes back up. So this is telling a little bit of a different story than what we saw in /NQs. This is showing us that we actually just about tested the SMA line. We actually broke through a little bit higher than where I thought we were going to be. I thought we were going to be around 2750 to 2775, and we actually hit just about 28, which is some interesting movement, but not too far off from what we had expected. So we're seeing this reversal, this change in direction. So how am I going to be trading this? I am going to be trading the inverse, which is that SQs. I'm going to be just continually watching my position size because, again, I don't know necessarily exactly where the direction is going. Let me show you what I mean by that. Here, we saw this incredible day where we peaked out, and then we had this correction, and then we tested again. We actually tested right up to the line, and then we had this nice little fallback. we were able to start to trade SQs again. So if we have this peak and this pullback and this peak and this pullback, it's gonna be important that we watch our position size right here, because we could have this pullback down to here, and especially if we're bought in heavy and then we start to increase, well, we could potentially test again. So these are all the different options that we have. Um, I mean, I'm sure there's more options, but these are the ones that I see as the most likely to happen. So just to recap, we could either come right here and start to fall all the way back down to where we were with our previous lows. We could come down, we could test like we did previously here on the SMA. So drop from here down and then bounce back up and then retest the previous support. Or we could even bounce, test this resistance, and then break through on the top end. But again, those are kind of what I see being the most probable outcomes of this. But regardless, today is looking like it's going to be a strong SQs day. So we'll just continue to trade this, watch our position size, be careful, don't bag hold, just get into um, a good spot for us where we think that we can make a little bit of money throughout the day. If you are a swing trader, my recommendation would be getting into SQQQ right now over the course of the next probably 3, 4, 5 days until we start to test this SMA line or even the EMA line. But that's kind of what is going on. Anyways, I hope that was a little bit helpful for you. I hope that you're able to start to learn how to identify direction in the market and understand where we're going with things. But anyways, that's going to wrap up our Monday technical analysis. I will see y'all tomorrow morning, and have a green day today. And yeah, take care.